everything's looking good. It's all looking good. Guess I can. I don't really need it. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. My name is AnonymousChaos, and I am finally back to doing this. It's been a long time coming. It's been about 3.5 months since I've posted a video, and that's very sad. It's very sad because I really enjoy doing this, and I really enjoy these games, and I really love interacting with you guys. And the fact that I had to stay away for so long just killed me. So I'm so thankful and so blessed that I'm able to come back to this. If you guys haven't noticed, this is post commentary with Facecam. Surprise, Facecam. And it being post commentary, I have like little notes of things that I can talk about. I had them when I first recorded this episode. I had every intention of doing a live commentary, but after recording it and then going to work, which is where I'm coming from, hence the dress shirt, I was watching it back and I wasn't entirely satisfied with what I got. So I decided to redo it. I scrapped that commentary, that Facecam footage, and I just restarted. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to line up where I am, because I'm watching the video as I do this, so I'm gonna try to match it up somewhat. It'll probably be off just by a little bit. Right now, where I think I am where I'm looking at as of right now, it is approximately 2 minutes and 35 seconds into the video. It's past that now, but I am attempting to summon a Sunbro so that we can go take out Havels and ultimately the Taurus Demon. You may notice that this is relatively late in the game for episode 1 of a playthrough, and that is because I also tried to record episode 1 from character creation, and I wasn't satisfied with that either. Yeah, I'm just very rusty from having not done it for a long time, and you could probably tell from my gameplay I am very rusty. I guess I can go into why I was gone. Not that it really matters now. I am back, but I do feel like I owe you guys somewhat of an explanation. For the months of June and July, it was immediately after my high school graduation, and I had not had a job up till then, so it was a requirement set by my parents and myself that I get a job. So I got a job. I got a job working in a iron molding foundry, which required that I work 12-hour shifts. Yay. And because I was on 12-hour shifts, I wasn't able to do anything. I wasn't able to play games, I wasn't able to make videos, I wasn't able to watch very many videos. I about died just then. Where I am in my commentary, the barrel just slid through. I cannot believe I had completely forgot about that, but getting off on a tangent. There was no time for anything whatsoever. I didn't have time for extracurricular activities, or even more importantly, my family. I didn't get to see them at all. I was working the night shift from 7 in the afternoon to 7 in the morning, which honestly was my choice. I did it on purpose because the only other option was for me to do swing shift, which would require that I work night shift for 2 days and day shift for 2 days in a row. And the way I worked was I would work 4 days in a row and then have 2 days off, and then go 4 more days of working and then 2 days off. It wasn't like a set, you're working 4 days a week. It was just whenever the days were placed. So the time that I had off, I was spending recovering from not being able to sleep, not in the physical strain of the labor, of the laborious nature of the job. It was a lot of work. It was all very strenuous in nature. So I just didn't have the energy to do it. But I tried. I honestly did. I actually recorded a lot, or not a lot, but I recorded a few episodes of my BloodBorne playthrough. And I think, yeah, now that I actually think about it, I've never actually thought about it this way before, which is weird. I probably should have, but I think that's what contributed, even now presently contributing to my lack of desire to play the game. I have yet to beat it. I have not beat Gurman. In fact, I haven't actually explored the whole game, like, in any shape or form. There are still areas and still bosses that I haven't even seen, let alone defeated, let alone fought. The last episode that I recorded was against Gurman, and I got my ass kicked for an hour. Over an hour. And I wasn't having, I was having fun. I loved the boss fight. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong with this. I love the game. The game is gorgeous. The game is wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. I have heard some things about the PvP, but I have not had a chance to experience it for myself, so I can't really say. But regardless of how good it was, I went into playing the game at just the wrong time. I was exhausted. I had no energy for anything, let alone an enthusiastic commentary that promoted thought and required thought. It just wasn't very good for anyone. So when I finally was able to quit my job and start getting ready for college, I was looking back and I was having a lot of regrets. Like, why on earth did I try to play this game while I was in that mindset? And it hasn't entirely killed the game for me, but now I don't have a whole lot of desire to play the game, let alone go back and beat it. I do want to, though. I do feel like I owe that to the game. I do feel like I owe that to the people who actually watched my playthrough and actually wanted me to beat the game. I feel like I owe that to FromSoft even, because they put forth, it's obvious how much effort they put forth into, at the very least, the PvP aspect of the game. And that's also why I decided to scrap the entire playthrough. There will not be another episode of that playthrough at all. It's not going to happen. I feel like with my commentary and with my lack of attention to the details and intricacies of the game, I feel like I have not paid the respect that the game and the developers deserve. I just didn't do it, and I not only let them down, but I ultimately let myself down, and it just didn't work out. This is a very depressing this is a very depressing way way to start the first episode of this series and my welcome back, I guess. That was not my intention. I had no intention of coming back to that tone, to that note. So we will go ahead and start shifting gears. And if I didn't clarify earlier, like I said, I just came from work. I am employed with another company. I'm not going to specify as to who, but those of you who are employed by them, I'm sure you can tell by the uniform. I am wearing khakis and a white polo, so if that's any indication. Though I'm sure it's standard for a lot of companies, but that's beside the point. This playthrough it's a very interesting playthrough to me. It's interesting in the fact that in the month of August, I spent the vast majority of my time, like the vast majority of my time, the time that I probably should have spent on getting ready for college, I spent it on these games, on getting back into these games. In fact, I'm better at these games than I was when I left. In my humble opinion, I can't say for certain. Some people would say that I'm worse, and that is your prerogative. I can't argue with that either. But especially from a PvP perspective, I feel like I am much better. I feel like I can appreciate the way the games work and how just how skilled the rest of the community is. I am blown away by just how amazing everybody is at these games and their attitude toward it. I do have a video coming up right after this one, as soon as I can get it rendered and up there. My internet is shit, so it may take a while. Excuse me. I was playing in the Blood Arena on my Chaos Queen build, and I wasn't having a whole lot of fun. Shocking, I know. But it's not that I wasn't having fun with the game. It was that I wasn't having any fun with the players. There was no variety. There was no unique aspect to the fighting experience. Like, all of them were very bland and very typical, is the way I would put it. All of the weapons were the same. They were all buffed. They were all the meta, essentially. And that especially in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1 is not nearly as bad, but Dark Souls 2, the meta does seem to weigh a lot of people down and cause a lot of dullness in the PvP landscape. So, and I've actually been I've been expressing my opinion on the meta that has been established in Dark Souls 2 with some pretty prominent people. Well, I say people, primarily a person, and I will get to that later. You know who you are, even if you're watching it. Watching this video, I seriously doubt it, but you have much better things to do, much better channels to be checking out than mine. But sorry, my chair's out. But all that's beside the point. I've never been one to, or at least for Dark Souls 2, I'm totally fine with Dark Souls 1's meta, except for the fact that katanas are cheap and you shouldn't use slow weapons and rapiers are bad. I'll use whatever's fun. That's just how I feel about it. But back to the Dark Souls 2 meta. Excuse me. Pardon me. Throat's getting a little dry. the soul level meta is non-existent, which I'm totally fine with. It never made any sense to me why there should be a soul level meta in a game dictated completely by soul memory rather than soul level. Just limiting yourself and your character, mostly your character, to a level, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, for Dark Souls 1, it made perfect sense, because that's where all the PvP was. That's where people had figured out that the stats were balanced and actually worked. But in Dark Souls 2, that doesn't seem to be the case. This problem has been stated and debated before. You've got soul level 120s, 150s going against level 348s that are full Havel and fast rolling and max ADP, and they're hexing their way through everything. I don't know. It didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Instead, what I did was to establish some foundation, some background into the way I started playing the game. I played it completely blind. I do have a bit of that blind playthrough, which ultimately didn't pan out either. That's actually the unique thing about this playthrough, which I will get to. I promise I will get off this tangent in just a minute. I got into Dark Souls 2 late. Like 2 weeks late. So I did not, even if I was playing online, which I was not at the time, I wouldn't have had very much influence. I was completely blind. I was not looking at my Twitter. I was not looking at YouTube. I wasn't doing anything. I was on media lockdown. So I went blind. And I played the game, and I loved the absolute shit out of it, despite the fact that and looking back now, I played it probably the absolute worst way you could possibly play it. I made at every turn, I made it more difficult for myself, for one reason or another. I didn't even realize I was doing it, but so I am not of the mindset. I have not been of the mindset from the very beginning that I should limit myself to what the rest of the community thinks I should be doing. So, and you guys may not know this, but I am absolutely fascinated, and I love story. I love to tell stories. I love to read them. I love to watch them. I just love to consume a storyline, a compelling storyline. And I am a writer. I even write my own stories. None of them are completed, or even to a even relative point where I can share them with you, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I love story. That's a huge reason why Dark Souls has been a favorite of mine that has not changed, because not only is the gameplay wonderful, not only does the control scheme for the remotes make way too much fucking sense, the story is compelling. Not so much in Dark Souls 2, but that's because Big Man himself wasn't a part of it. I'm gonna jump on that train just from a lore perspective. However, I don't think the game is bad because he wasn't there. That's just my opinion, but getting off to another tangent. I'm trying really hard to get off these tangents, guys. But, like I said, I love story, so I try to make a story around every character that I make, and there is a story behind this character, but I'm about halfway through the video, so I'm not going to elaborate on that one, on her story for this episode. Just going to elaborate on what this series is, and then we'll go from there. I have a whole list. I have another list over here of things that I can talk about, which is phenomenal. I've never had anything to talk about during an episode. If you watch my previous videos, God forbid, please don't. I'm ashamed. I will not take them down. I am proud that I made them, but I am ashamed of the commentary. That's just how it goes, I guess. I actually have something to talk about now. I actually have topics that interest me enough, and that I've done enough research that I actually have formed a compelling and somewhat relevant opinion about. And that's just amazing to me. I don't know, it excites me. I'm sure you can tell I'm actually trying to keep quiet because I don't get off work. I'm working the night shift again, sort of. I didn't get off today until like midnight, so it is currently 1:17. I recorded this episode on 9/11. If you guys would take a moment of silence in the memory of those that we lost that day, would really mean a lot. My family was actually worried that we would lose my father, who was on a plane at the exact same time, but that's a story for another day, as disappointing as that is, I'm sure. But that's not to try to bring sympathy my way. I'm just saying that I can relate just a tiny bit, not a whole lot. I'm not saying I understand completely, but I do understand the fear aspect of it. So, but back to my tangent before this one. I don't make PvP builds. I've never made PvP builds. I'm not any good at it. I don't make good PvP builds. I'm not even the sort of person to get an overpowered weapon and buff it. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, for example, in Dark Souls 2, the Chaos Blade. I love the shit out of the Chaos Blade for two reasons. One is the freaking Chaos Blade. What is my name? Chaos. Was that on purpose? Maybe. Secondly, it's a good weapon. I like the concept that it chips away at you, at your soul, at your being as you use it. It's just an astonishingly deep and I'm going to use the word compelling again. It's a compelling, maybe not compelling. That doesn't even seem like the word, but I'm just going to move on because I'll be sitting here trying to remember a word from. Anyway, I don't make PvP builds. I make characters. And I've gone through great effort to tie them to the lore of the games. Like for Diana, this is actually her, the character that you're seeing here. This is my recreation of her for Dark Souls 1. I'm going through more effort than necessary, even I would say, to tie her to the world and make her feasible. So that is a video for another day. So I don't even know how I got onto this tangent. So yeah, I'm just going to end that tangent there and go ahead and discuss what this series is. Oh, that it was a unique series. It's a unique series for me, at the very least. I have never, ever, in my Dark Souls career, gone beyond New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2. I've just never felt a need to. I've always been able to get what I need for the build and just hang out. Just do some PvP and have fun. But there are two people who have inspired me. Now, there are more people overall that have just inspired me, but two people in particular that have inspired me for this playthrough. The first being Epic Name Bro. I love the absolute shit out of Epic Name Bro and his content. He is a great guy. He's from the freaking South, which, from friggin' Tennessee, so enough said, really. But his content is just amazing. His videos are awesome. His commentary is spot on. I'm very envious. But he has always been a member that he was one of the first commentators I ever actually started listening to, let alone when I was getting into the community. So I have a great deal of respect for Epic Name Bro. For all of those points and more. He's a father. Like, I can't relate to that. He is a father, so there's a great deal of respect for that. Moving on. I can talk about this all day, surprisingly. But when Epic Name Bro started his From the Dark playthrough, as many other content creators have started doing since Dark Souls 3 was was revealed, and we've seen gameplay and it looks exactly like Dark Souls 1. Great for some people, not so much for others. I really don't care. It's a Souls game. I'm going to play it and love it all the same. But a lot of other people were going back to Dark Souls 1, and I really saw it as more of just a PvP aspect. I didn't really see that they were playing the game to enjoy it, and, well, to enjoy it obviously, but to really understand it more and to become more in depth with the game itself, not just from a story aspect, but it could have been even more for PvP or whatever. But my point is, Epic Name Bro started his series already knowing a lot about the game, and he's doing it because he wants to spread the knowledge. He wants to see if he missed anything. He wants to see how what the community thinks about what we know now as opposed to what we did then, and see if we have any more like new and weird theories. Which, if you've seen that comment section, I've been a part of it a couple times. It is weird and it is different. There are still really good theories, but to kind of move on, he really inspired me to make a playthrough of Dark Souls. I really wanted to make a playthrough of Dark Souls, but I had no purpose, and I didn't want to do what he was doing. I didn't want to just go through the game and try to find all the lore aspects and just point out different parts of the game and kind of like digest it like he's doing, because he's one of the only people that can do it. I'm not very good at it. There are plenty of shit that I haven't noticed. Like, Epic From the Dark has taught me plenty that I should have known. Like, for one, the mimics freaking breathe. Just sitting there. I had no idea. I've always just ran past them or killed them as soon as I saw them. I never stopped to look to see, oh, well, you guys breathe. I mean, I knew that they would breathe when you hit them with those talismans and their mouths would open and they'd be sleeping. I knew they did that, but I had no idea their mouths came freaking open when they were just sitting there. That blew my mind. I was like, but he really did inspire me to make a playthrough, but I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a reason for doing what I wanted to do, and that really bummed me out. And I spent the whole month of August trying to come up with a reason. And recently, I was watching Peeve Peverson. I had been in his streams. I've primarily been watching Dreaded Cone just because I really like him. I really like the way he plays games. I really like the way he runs his stream. But that's another tangent for another time. Another time. I go to Peeve's YouTube, just scrolling through all the people I'm subscribed to. There are a lot, by the way. And I'm just looking, and lo and behold, there is a video of his Demon Souls playthrough, and it's of New Game Plus 22. And I looked at that and I said, dude, That's awesome! How on earth did you do that? I mean, I know how you did that. You sat there and you physically just played through the game 22 times. 21, and now you're doing the 22nd. But that was astonishing. To me, and I thought, you know what? That's what I want to do. So now that the video's wrapping up, I think I'm going over my time, so there may be an extra clip somewhere after my little wave session, because I've suddenly found a topic I want to talk about, which is good. It was good. I'm not complaining, but I thought to myself, I want to do that. I want to see just how far into this game I can get. So, to wrap things up, what I've decided to do is start this playthrough. But I'm going to do it differently than you would expect. I'm not going to restrict myself to Dark Souls. No. No, because then that'd be like everybody else. That'd be boring. Nobody. No. I'm going to go through Dark Souls 1 in regular game, build the character, and then I'm going to Dark Souls 2. And I'm going to go through Dark Souls 2 in New Game Plus. And then I'm going to come back to Dark Souls 1 for New Game Plus, New Game Plus 2. And then I'm going to go back to Dark Souls 2 once again for New Game Plus 3, and I'm gonna keep on going until I can't do it no more. Until I just can't stand it anymore. And that probably won't be for a long time. I will probably just have it going on and on and on. It may actually last as long as my channel lasts. That very well could be the case, and you know what? I'm satisfied with that. But one last point before I wrap things up. This is not the only playthrough I'm going to be doing, despite the fact that I am super busy with college stuff and work now, and personal life getting crazy again. I do have other things. I do have that's what it was. That's where the tangent came from. I am sorry for not elaborating on that. I sincerely apologize. I was talking about the next video. The next video is going to be where I was in the blood arena and I decided to troll. I have a over 30-minute video coming very, very soon of me just trolling and having a good time. Because why not? I mean, we've been playing this game for over a year now. Dark Souls 2. We've been playing this for over a year now. We just need to get the stick out of our ass and stop worrying about a meta that doesn't exist and just play the game. Enjoy the game. Because you know what? Dark Souls 3 isn't coming out until 2016. Which, granted, not very far. But there is still a few months. And in those few months, we are pretty much restricted. Not entirely restricted, but as far as Souls is concerned, we are restricted to Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Demon Souls. And I don't have Demon Souls, so I'm shit out of luck. We need to just start having fun, guys. And Polygoing said that better than anybody. I left him a very, very not a very lengthy, I could have made it longer. Very, very easily could have made it longer. But I sent him I left a comment on the video thanking him, and I'm going to say it one more time. I'm probably going to say it more than one more time, but in this video, I'm going to say it. Thank you so much, because you are also a huge inspiration for why I decided to do this series. Because I couldn't come up with a way to say it, and you said it perfectly in one video. So if you have not checked out those guys, Epic Name Bro, Pete Feverson, and Polygoing, you need to. What are you doing on my channel? Go away. I mean, I appreciate you stopping by, but my stuff is shit, and they are amazing. Go. Type in, I don't know what you do, you type or thumbs. Go. Please. They deserve all of the love in the world, because they are amazing people, and they do their jobs so well. But I do have other videos coming out. I like I said, I love story, so I am actually interested in expressing my opinions on and my take on the lore of the game, not just Dark Souls 1, but Dark Souls 2 as well. Like I said, I have character lore that I've been working on. Though the lore videos are going to require a bit more time and a bit more effort, because I need to get clips together, I need to make the builds, I need to finish them, because I've been like going from one to the other, just getting shit done whenever. Pardon me. So that's coming. I don't know when. But this series is going to be a constant thing. You can always count on this series being here until I have a mental breakdown. A mental breakdown. So I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. I went from having a very good day to having a very shit day to having a very good day, and the only reason why I'm having a very good day right now is because I'm doing this. This is something that I love to do. I love doing this. There's not really anything like it. No, there's nothing like this. Being able to commentate about a game with and being able to interact with other people that feel the same way about the game as I do. It's very humbling and it's an honor. It's amazing. It's a very unique experience, and I'm loving every second of it. I think I just shook the table that my laptop's sitting on. I apologize. But I do need to wrap it up. I am 6 minutes over where I needed to be. Six minutes over where I needed to be. I'm sorry. So, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go somewhere else. Like I said, I love you guys. I love the fact that you're here. But go to these other people. They are so much better. Please, show them some love, because they deserve it. Whereas I'm only just getting started. So, and it's not just those three. I'm going to be letting everybody have some love during this playthrough. I've got plenty of things to talk about. I've got plenty of people to talk about. So, look forward to that. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for giving me the inspiration to do this and giving me a environment that makes me feel like I can. And despite the fact that I really don't give a shit whether anybody thinks I should or not, I'm going to do it anyway. But we've kind of forgotten. This is my last point, and then I'm going to shut up. I promise. I promise. This community is astounding. It really is. If you look at any other community, if you just stop looking at our community and you just sit back and you go to any other game, any other community associated with a game or a franchise even, good grief, any of the franchises, no community even comes close. Not a single one. You know why? because each and every one of us love this game, these games. We may disagree on which game is better, despite the fact that there is no such thing. Like, all the Souls games are Souls. And that's another thing. There are no games like Souls. There have been games who tried, but there are no other Souls. We have unique games and we have a unique community because we love the game and we want to see each other grow and succeed. And we want to create an environment where that can happen. I think we've kind of forgotten that. From the release of Dark Souls 2 into BloodBorne, we've kind of forgotten. And we're not a big community, believe it or not. Maybe we're bigger than we think we are, but we're not quite as big as some people think we are, if that makes any sense. We're very small. But there's a lot of love to be found in this community. You just gotta look for it. And here lately, the main focus has been on the hate. That's not what anyone should ever focus on. For anything, let alone a video game. There's a lot of love to be found here, and I, for one, and I know plenty of people who are also doing it, they will also be mentioned, I promise. I, for one, refuse to hate. I refuse to hate these games because I love them anyway, regardless of what happens. I love the people. I have yet to come across a person, an actual member of the community that I did not like, that I did not respect. There's a lot of love to be found. You just gotta look for it. You've got to want to see it. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm finally going to shut up. I'm 10 minutes over my limit. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Sorry. But, thank you guys so much for watching. This is AnonymousChaos. Or you can call me Ryan. Either way is fine. Whatever y'all want to do. Whatever. Thank you for watching. Find something to enjoy. Don't focus on the hate. This community is too good to fall into the same category as Call of Duty, Minecraft, and freaking Assassin's Creed. We are better than that. And I believe that full-heartedly 100%. There's no one like us out there. Thank you for watching. My name is Ryan, otherwise known as AnonymousChaos. And I will see you guys in the next episode of this playthrough. I'm out. Peace.